I don't think one person can do everything I just said, but the name of one marshmallow comes to mind, and that's the odd ones out. You will be amazed on all the wonders that can happen when you have the right person for the job. We are back in action, my friends. I'm so glad to see you back. When it comes to buying a sandwich, there's a lot of options out there that we can choose from. I'm sure we all know at least a few different stores that we can go to if we're in the mood to eat a nice, yummy, and delicious sandwich. But you know what's something I notice every time I talk about sandwiches and bring up the name Subway? I always notice that there is two different types of people out there when it comes to Subway and their sandwiches. The first type of people I run into only talk about their sandwiches and only call it Subway, which is completely normal. But then there's the second type of people I run into, and they are very different than the first type, because anytime I talk about sandwiches and say the word Subway, they automatically cut me off and say the word Sooubway. I'm part of the second type of people, and they're what you call the cool kids on the block, because they know about the odd ones out and seen his Sooubway videos. Anyone watching this video right now who doesn't know who the odd ones out is or seen his Sooubway videos must be really confused right now. But it's okay, because I would be confused too if I didn't know who the odd ones out is and say to myself, what the heck is a Sooubway and what's that even supposed to mean, Sooubway? But before you go and start watching the odd ones out and his Sooubway videos, I have to warn you about something very important first. No one told me about this warning up front, so it's only fair I tell you about it so you're completely aware of it. If you watch the odd ones out and his Sooubway videos, you will never ever look at the word Subway the same ever again after that and forever call it Sooubway. I'm not even kidding when I say that, because I never met anyone in my life who has seen the odd ones out Sooubway videos and hasn't called Subway Sooubway. I mean, look at me. I'm already saying the word Sooubway, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I'm going to keep saying the word Sooubway for a very long time, especially since I'm a big fan of those Sooubway videos. Because of the odd ones out and his Sooubway videos, I can never look at the word Subway the same again, because I always think of Sooubway. The people who don't get it will think I'm some kind of weirdo, but the people who do get it will know that we're part of the cool kids club. This reminds me of the time where I saw this Comedy Central episode of Key and Peele called Substitute Teacher. Because of that video, certain names have forever been changed for me whenever I see them. Because now, whenever I see the name Denise, I always think of D Nice, and now the name Aaron has become Aaron to me. But my absolute favorite name in the world to see on a piece of paper has to be Jacqueline. If there is a Jacqueline out there watching this video right now, I'm sure you've been called Jay Quellen a few times in your life. If you haven't, well, how's it going, Jay Quellen? I hope you're enjoying the video. If I was a teacher or had the power to say the names out loud in front of a group of people and I saw the name Jacqueline on a piece of paper, it's about to go down, you guys, because it's going to seriously take a lot of willpower from me to not say with a serious face in front of everyone, Jay Quellen. I don't know if I would get in any trouble if I said that, but you know it will be hilarious to do. So anytime I talk about or see the word Subway, I always remember the odd ones out and his Sooubway videos. I love watching the odd ones out, especially his Sooubway videos. I was pretty excited to see that he posted a new Sooubway Part 4 video for everybody to see. The only thing I wasn't expecting to see was the title called Sooubway 4, The Final Sandwich. The final sandwich? What do you mean the final sandwich? This can't be the final sandwich, because it's only begun, and let me tell you why. When one door closes, another opens, and I think this is the start of something big. A lot of people would think that this is the end of the road for Sooubway, but something this big like Sooubway does not just go away. Look what happened to Terminator for a second. Everyone thought it was just going to be one movie and that's it back in 1984. But what three words did Arnold Schwarzenegger say in Terminator that made him internationally famous that everybody in the entire world knows? Those three simple little words are, "I'll be back." And he was right, because now we have Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, and I lost track after that. It's 2019 and Terminator is still alive and still going, and that's exactly what's going to happen to Sooubway. It's going to keep going and going. If you haven't seen Sooubway 4, The Final Sandwich, you should pause this video and go watch it, because I'm about to drop a serious and major spoiler right now. Does anyone remember the ending where the odd ones out was burying his Sooubway sandwich? I know it looks like the party is officially over because the odd ones out buried his Sooubway sandwich. This truly does look like it really might just be the final sandwich. But in life, nothing goes according to plan because yeah, it looks like it's over, but is it really? Don't you believe in zombies, or what about ghosts? That sandwich is coming back, I tell you, because how many movies have you seen where you think it's all said and done, but then realize it's only just the beginning for something bigger? I don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but one can only speculate, and that's why I'm here making this video. I'd rather say this upfront now, so if what I do say does happen in the future, I get to look back and say that I was the first marshmallow to call this up front and was the first marshmallow to do it. But if I'm wrong, which I wouldn't be surprised because that's just my luck sometimes, then I guess my vision for the future was way bigger than I expected. Everyone who has seen the Sooubway videos knows that the adventure started over 3 years ago. That's a very long time over here, from high school freshman to high school junior. And in those 3 years, do you know what happened? Those Sooubway videos have not only become very iconic and forever part of YouTube's history, but in my opinion, it has made the odd ones out unofficially the secret hidden face of Sooubway that only the cool kids know about. Because think about it, ever since we all saw those Sooubway videos, a mini chain reaction has started in all our minds. When you think of Subway, you think of Sooubway, and when you think of Sooubway, you think of the odd ones out. I always knew about Sooubway and their sandwiches way before the odd ones out, and they were all right. But because of the odd ones out, in my opinion, I think he gave Sooubway sandwiches that sizzling sizzle whenever you bite into one now. Just because the odd ones out sandwich making days are over doesn't mean his Sooubway days are entirely over. Back in the day, Sooubway had this J-Red person as the spokesperson for Sooubway, but we're not talking about back in the day because that J-Red guy is not even that important. We're talking about something better than back in the day, and that's the future over here. How many times have you seen celebrities or sports athletes do all sorts of different commercials on TV? The answer is all the time, because do you know how many times I've seen a Shaquille O'Neal Icy Hot commercial? I've seen those commercials one too many times, and now every time I see Icy Hot on the store shelves, I always remember those Shaquille O'Neal commercials. But you know what? The weird thing is, because of those commercials, I always bought Icy Hot every time I went to the store when I needed something for a sore muscle. Commercials are not my favorite thing to watch when I'm watching a TV show, but they do happen to work on me sometimes. I was doing some Googling around and saw this article about the old CEO of Sooubway stepping down. It looks like Suzanne was the old CEO of Sooubway, and now this Trevor guy is the new CEO of Sooubway. And whenever you're a CEO, especially a new CEO to a company, you have to have a vision for the future. And since he's a pretty new CEO to Sooubway, his job is to reorganize and restructure the company. I know that sounds like fancy talk because it really is, but all that just means he better do a good job or else. Because if Sooubway stores are closing down, there is a problem, and this CEO has to find a way to fix it. I mean, that's why this guy is on top of the food chain in Sooubway headquarters and is getting paid the big bucks. I don't know anything about being a CEO or how to run a business. All I know is how to be a good customer. I've been a customer all my life that I may not have the answers for everything, but I do know what it's like to be a customer, and that's a good starting point. I'm not a big fan of commercials whenever I watch TV, but they're pretty good sometimes. I think commercials are great opportunities to go to my kitchen and grab more food to eat, or even have a bathroom break before my TV show starts again. And I hate to admit, but I have bought a few things from stores because of the commercials I've seen on TV. If a commercial is cool looking enough, it will grab my attention and I will watch the entire thing. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if one day Sooubway gets in touch with the odd ones out and wants to have him on a few of their commercials. I know that sounds crazy, but if Ninja can do a commercial for Samsung, I don't think having the odd ones out do a commercial for Sooubway sounds impossible. Because when it comes to selecting someone to do a commercial, you need to find the right person for the job and not just any average Joe. When that right person is selected for a commercial, that person needs to be able to carry the brand. That person needs to be able to live up to the name and be able to represent that brand well. That special person needs to be able to help that company get to the next level. I don't think one person can do everything I just said, but the name of one marshmallow comes to mind, and that's the odd ones out. You will be amazed on all the wonders that can happen when you have the right person for the job. And if things get really crazy, the odd ones out might get hooked up with his own custom sandwich as those limited time offers while supplies last. Just like the way basketball players like LeBron James and Stephen Curry have their own custom sneakers. Imagine walking into a Sooubway store and all you have to say is, "I want the Odd Ones Out special, because how cool would that be? I don't think all of this is going to happen anytime soon, but you never know, right? The future is always a mystery, and you just never know what Trevor, the new CEO of Sooubway, is capable of doing. I'm sure when you're the CEO of a company, no one can tell you no, and all you have to do is just snap your fingers and things magically get done. I'm sure Trevor's going to be watching YouTube one day and see the Odd Ones Out and his Sooubway videos, and that's when he snaps his fingers and says, "Chimes, get the Odd Ones Out on the phone. I want him for one of my commercials." When you're the CEO and that high on the food chain, what's poor Chimes the butler going to do? Tell Trevor no? I don't think so. But let's forget about the future and let's talk about the present real quick. I don't think I'm the only one who watched the Odd Ones Out and all of his Sooubway videos again one more time after seeing part 4. When you have part 4 called The Final Sandwich, you can't help but have to relive the entire journey all over again and watch how it all started one more time. But one thing that came to my mind after watching all the Sooubway videos again is how many Sooubway workers out there in the world know who the Odd Ones Out is and has seen his Sooubway videos? It's a good question to ask, but I have no idea what the real answer is, but I will take a guess and say maybe at least 5% of all Sooubway workers know who he is. But let me wrap this video up. What are your thoughts if you saw the Odd Ones Out on a future Sooubway commercial, and would you buy the Odd Ones Out special if they had one? But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. And if you want more, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all later.